Hello guys, how's it going? My name is Dal, and recently Blizzard has announced that the Shadowlands Season 4 will be ending in less than 2 weeks, which likely means the Dragonflight pre-patch is right around the corner. Over the last few weeks, we've seen a lot of class changes over on the beta realms, specifically focused on class tuning and bug fixes in order to get our classes ready for the pre-expansion event. And recently, we saw even more major changes, focused on buffing and improving underperforming classes, while reining back certain playstyles that found themselves leading ahead of the pack. In today's video, I wanted to go over all of the recent changes to all of our favorite classes, as well as PvP specific adjustments this week in the Dragonflight beta. But right before that, most of you guys watching these videos are still not subscribed. However, the more of you remind, the more of you do. So let's keep it going. Subscribe to the channel as well as hit the bell if you're watching these videos anyway, especially if you're looking to get regular class and content updates for all the future and upcoming Dragonflight beta builds. I'm gonna list all of these class changes in an alphabetical order, starting with the class of Death Knight. This week, Death Knights didn't see too many changes, mostly reductions to the Blood Death Knight Bone Armor build, and a few more buffs towards Remorseless Winter output for the Speck of Frost. The class of Demon Hunter is seeing an increase to the overall survivability, but losing some power out of their offensive talent options. Havoc Spec is seeing more small damage nerfs on top of the previous changes. Vengeance, on the other hand, gets even more sturdy, with damage reductions, absorb increases, and a shorter sigil cooldown. Then we have the class of Druid, where balance have seen a lot of reductions over the last few weeks, and this update continues to bring in few more changes. For the talent of Umbral Embrace, the empowerment mechanic is being reduced, while Astral's smolder damage over time effect has been buffed significantly. Overall, their talent tree has seen a lot more positional adjustments in order to promote more pathing options, more talent freedom, and more build possibilities. Restoration Druids saw their healing nerfed by 10%, which looks like an impactful throughput reduction. This week we're seeing big fixes for the Beast Mastery Hunter. Call of the Wild, Brutal Companion, and Beast Cleave are all being adjusted as more bugs are continuing to get fixed. We're also seeing buffs to the wildlife summoned by Dire Beast. Base damage of all summoned companions is increased significantly. The effectiveness of Dire Frenzy is also being empowered as well per talent point invested. This week we're seeing adjustments to the class of Mage. Arcane sees nerfs to Arcane Missiles and power reductions from Arcane Power buff as well as Touch of the Magi, while Arcane Surge will begin to benefit from Rune power immediately, and Arcane Echo will now start to scale with Mastery. And the Speck of Fire took another hit this week, primarily to the Pyroblast damage output. Talents that increase the crit chance and damage of Pyroblast have all been reduced, and talents that increase the burn mastery value have seen nerfs as well. We also got changes to the class of Monk. Majority of Monk updates deal with fixing bugs, which will lead to overall better performance. Mistweaver gets a longer healing range when fist weaving to help combat positional issues, which is a nice quality of life update. Mistweaver also sees damage buffs to Zen Pulse and slight damage reduction for Spinning Crane Kick as well. Holy Paladins are getting even more support towards the caster healing playstyle, mostly through buffs to Tyr's Deliverance ability, as well as the interacting talent effects. The class of Shaman sees a lot of buffs this week, starting with the Speck of Elemental. The abilities of Earthshock, Lightning Bolt, Elemental Blast, and Liquid Magma Totem are all getting amplified, with the Magma Totem seeing a buff of 125%. The talent of Heatwave will now buff Lava Surges, and Windspeaker can now proc Lava Bursts from Earthquakes. Then we have the Speck of Enhancement Shaman, where abilities like Storm Strike, Wind Strike, Lava Lash, Ice Strike, Sundering, Storm's Wrath, and many more are seeing incredible damage increases. Feral Spirits and the Elemental version will be even more effective at increasing your damage output. But the ability of Doom Winds will have a longer cooldown and will have overall reduced effectiveness. The class of Rogue is seeing a variety of changes this week. First, all specs are seeing damage buffs to abilities of Ambush, Instant Poison, Shiv, Sepsis, and Echoing Reprimand. Assassination is getting tuned up a notch, with just about every ability getting somewhere between a 15 to a 20% damage buff increase. Everything from Garrote, Rupture, Fan of Knives, Envenom, and Mutilate, down to your impactful cooldowns of Deathmark as well as King's Bane, even reducing the cooldown of Indiscriminate Carnage, which should help improve your overall AoE output. The spec of Outlaw is seeing slight damage nerfs and reductions to some of the most beneficial roll the bones effects, but it gains back smooth resource generation, which result in a much more pleasant gameplay experience. However, the spec of Subtlety did draw the short straw this week, mostly seeing nerfs regarding its damage output as well as resource generation. This week, Warriors are seeing a mixed bag of changes. More Arms is mostly seeing damage reductions and changes to various talents in order to bring down their overall performance. However, the spec of Fury is largely seeing damage buffs instead. More value towards Bloodthirst and the Bloodthirst crits playstyle. More damage increases to both Rage and Blow as well as the Annihilator talent. And even more talent improvements that will help increase the overall performance. Finally, this week we're seeing a lot of PvP specific changes, and it seems like a lot of these updates are focused on reverting a lot of the constructed PvP tuning that we've developed over the last few expansions. Some in the community have suggested that this is likely to reset all spell modifiers back to 0, to have an easier time tuning all of our classes and the talent tree changes as we head into the first season of PvP in Dragonflight. These changes, however, are still going to impact our class PvP performance. Starting with Druids, who gain even more value from regrowth healing. The Hunter Kill Command is seeing a nice damage buff, while Marksmanship will no longer benefit from increases for aim shot and rapid fire abilities. All mage specs are seeing a variety of changes, like reductions to the Arcane's Missiles ability, nerfs to Fireball and buffs to Pyroblast for the spec of Fire, buffs to Comet Storm but reductions to Ice Sense for Frost Mages. Mist River Monks are losing the healing increases from the Enveloping Mist and Vivify. Retribution Paladins are seeing bigger AoE cleave value. Priests will no longer benefit from healing increases to Power Word Shield or Renewal, and Shadow loses damage buffs to Vampiric Touch. The class of Rogue is getting buffed, specifically for the abilities of Between the Eyes for Outlaw and Eviscerate for Subtlety. Restoration Shaman gains back some Riptide output. Affliction Warlock loses all damage bonuses to Agony, Corruption, Siphon Life, Shadowbolt, and Unstable Affliction. Finally, the Warrior tree sees adjustments to the talents of Bounding Stride and Double Time, making those specific effects less effective in PvP combat, as well as some more damage increases to the spec of Arms as well. And that's going to be the full list of class changes that we got this week over for the Dragonflight beta. I want to thank you all so much for watching this video, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think about all of these recent changes? What are some of the buffs that you're excited for the most? Also, are there any other playstyles that are currently struggling that you think should receive more help going forward? Let me know all of your thoughts in the comments below. As per usual, if you guys enjoyed this video or found it informative, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. I would very much appreciate it. And as always, in the description of every single live stream and video, we have a link to our Discord community channel. Probably the best place to reach out to me directly in case you want to let me know what you thought about this video, or discuss with the other members of the community what you think about the upcoming changes. Join our Discord to become part of the community. But otherwise, thank you guys so much for watching. I do hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts, and as always, I'll see all of you guys in another video.